Welcome back to the Mountain Man Medical YouTube channel. Thanks for hanging out. In today's video, we're going to talk about a crazy story about a woman in Oregon who's sentenced to 10 years in prison for shooting a cop while she was handcuffed. It's a pretty crazy story. Hang out, we're going to talk about that next. All right, guys, well, thanks for hanging out. And before we get into this video, do me a huge favor. Go down below, hit that like and subscribe button. That's a free way to support me here at the channel. So if you like this video, that's a great way to support me. If you need trauma kits, head over to mountainmanmedical.com. Check out our Yellowstone and Wind River trauma kits. Let's get into this video. All right, so this story is coming to us at a Gladstone, Oregon, where officers pulled over a woman who was flagged for an extraditable warrant back to Texas for allegedly embezzling $1.4 million. According to Gladstone police officers, Yvette Lares Garcia was pulled over for a routine traffic stop, and this is where she was flagged for that extraditable warrant. After the officers placed Garcia into handcuffs, she starts voicing concerns about her two pet dogs at home and requested the officers if she can stop at the home to take care of her dogs. Officers, of course, are very good officers. They decide to help her out. They stop by her house so that she can take care of her dogs. But as soon as they get on scene, these dogs, these pets, are big, aggressive pit bulls, and they are not happy to see these officers at all. These officers put themselves in a significant amount of risk to help Garcia out with her pets. So the officers do a really good job. In the video, you can see them doing a great job of taking care of the dogs and really being pretty brave in the face of two very aggressive pit bulls, which attack a lot of people every year. But Garcia uses this as her opportunity to try to escape. As the officers are trying to wrangle these dogs that are running all over the house, Garcia sees an opportunity to grab a 9mm handgun in the nightstand table in one of the bedrooms. She orchestrated a perfect opportunity for herself by getting the officers separated, with one officer down in the garage with one of the dogs and the other officer up there trying to help her. According to that officer, Garcia called his attention away from her for a moment, and when he turned back around, she was holding the pistol pointed right at him. The officer reported saying that Garcia said that she wasn't going to go to prison, and then she started shooting. She hit him once in the leg and then also grazed him in the upper arm, I believe, on the left side. Not too clear on that, but what we do know is that he was injured in his right lower leg, and blood can be seen in the video. The other officer returns fire and is driven back a little bit, and she starts shooting rounds down the stairs trying to drive him back. You can also hear in the video where she attempts to get the dogs to go downstairs to attack the officers. In fact, in one of the scenes, you can see the dog start to round the corner after she sends the dog down, and I think the officer fires a couple of rounds at that dog.
You're gonna get shot! Drop the gun now! Drop the gun! Drop the gun!
The dog then runs off, and then the officer is able to run across. As you can hear, sirens in the background, help is coming, and the officer uses that as an opportunity to get across to take care of his officer. But I think that the only reason she stopped shooting was because she ran out of ammunition. Now let's talk a little bit about the medical in this particular incident. We could see the officer run up to apply this tourniquet to the downed officer. What we notice is that in his haste, he gets the strap tangled and twisted as he gets it applied. Instead of stopping to fix it, he continues to get that tourniquet applied, and you can see that it's twisted on itself. That twisting in the strap makes the tourniquet particularly ineffective. We need to have a nice, wide, flat strap all the way around the limb, providing that circumferential pressure that we need to occlude that artery. If it's twisted on itself, you're not going to get that flatness, and you're not going to put enough pressure over a wider surface area to get that occlusion. On top of that, it's going to be especially uncomfortable because the more of that pressure is applied over a smaller surface area. So it's going to be very uncomfortable, and it's probably not going to be very effective. So if you are in a circumstance like this and you realize that you're going too fast, you're applying this tourniquet incorrectly, and you're getting things muddled and mixed up and twisted on itself, we need to stop, fix it, and then reapply it correctly, because that's how we're going to save somebody's life. it can be easy in the middle of an emergency to just skip steps. Are these steps really that important? And the answer, especially in this particular instance, is yes. We need to make sure that we apply this tourniquet correctly, or we might as well not be applying it at all. And in fact, we could be doing more harm than good. So we want to make sure that when we apply the tourniquet, we apply it correctly and right the first time. Also, you might notice that that is an old generation soft T tourniquet. They have new generation soft T tourniquets out there that are much better, in my opinion. I have used those older model soft Ts before on people, and I know that they work. So that if you have those, go ahead and use them. I would trust them myself, but they do have better models out there now with the latest generation of soft Ts, which we do also offer on the mountainmanmedical.com website. All right, guys, well, that's all I got for you. Thanks for hanging out and checking out this video. If you want to read more about this situation, head over to the mountainmanmedical.com blog where I did a write-up on this. There's more information there if you want to find out more. Feel free to check that out. And while you're there, check out our Yellowstone and Wind River trauma kits. Be ready for whatever the mountain throws at you. I'll catch you guys in the next one.